Pour le pays, pour les ancêtres, marchons unis, marchons unis. Dans nos rangs, point de traître, du sol, soyons seuls maîtres. Marchons unis, marchons unis pour le pays et pour les ancêtres. Marchons, marchons, marchons unis pour le pays, pour les ancêtres.
Happy New Year and happy Haitian Independence Day. I am Mary Estimé-Irvin, the Councilwoman for the beautiful city of North Miami in District 3. Welcome to our second annual Soup Joumou celebration. Due to the pandemic, we decided to make it virtual. Last year, we had the pleasure of celebrating together with our friends, family, and neighbors. In planning the second annual Soup Joumou celebration, we were determined not to allow COVID-19 to cancel Haitian Independence Day. This is Haitian resilience at work. We find alternative to enjoy our tradition and reflect on our history. If one way doesn't work, we find another. At this moment, coming to you virtually, with technology, one can do wonders. One aspect of our history that continues to resonate even today is the Haitian sense of community. This tradition invites everyone to join in the celebration of independence, freedom, and liberty for all with a soup. I live in a diverse community, so it's much easier to share a bowl of soup with my Black American, White American, Latin American, and Asian American neighbors. That's what the Haitian celebration is all about, community. The Haitian independence sense of community was always present prior to 1804. Over 217 years ago, the Haitian Revolution awoke into the world of the true meaning of freedom and liberty for all men. Influencers of the era became allies to the ideals of the revolution. One such person was the British poet William Wordsworth. He wrote this poem to the greatest military general in history, Toussaint Louverture. To Toussaint Louverture, Toussaint, the most unhappy of men, whether the whistling rustic tend his plow within thy hearing, or thy head be now pillowed in some deep, dungeonless den. O miserable chieftain, where and when will thy find patience? Yet die not. Do thy wear rather in thy bounds a cheerful brow. Though falling thyself never to rise again, live and take comfort. Thou have left behind powers that will work for thee, air, earth, and sky. There's not a breathing of a common wind that will forget thee. Thou hast great allies. Thy friends are exaltation, agony, and love, and a man's incomparable mind. So in the spirit of the Haitian Revolution and independence, we invite all people to celebrate with us, drink with us, as we celebrate a new year with Soup Joumou.
Yeah.
Now, here are our hosts who will help us celebrate Haitian Independence Day. We have with us Calvin Hughes, Guylene, and Marckenson Jeanty.
Happy Haitian Independence Day, my friends. My name is Guylene from Cause Femme and Pase Media. I will be your co-host for today.
My name is Marckenson Jeanty. I'm a foreign trade lawyer from Haiti. I'm also a managing partner at Power Friends Consulting and Investment LLC. I am your today's co-host.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this amazing celebration. Happy New Year and happy Haitian Independence Day. I'm your host, Calvin Hughes, with Local 10 News, and your unofficial Haitian. This is the second annual Soup Joumou celebration, made possible by North Miami Councilwoman Mary Estimé-Irvin. And this year, of course, it's happening virtually. And that speaks to the importance of a tradition that has stood the test of time and now a pandemic. Our theme this year is about diversity and community. You know, Haiti's Constitution says if you step foot on Haitian soil, you're officially Haitian. So some of our speakers today have been there. Some have not, but the Soup Joumou celebration today is all about welcoming everyone. Our speakers today include Mayor Philippe Bien-Aimé, Vice Mayor Alex DeSume, Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, Florida Commissioner of Agriculture and Consumer Services Nikki Freed, Miami-Dade County State Attorney Catherine Fernandez-Rundle, State Representative Christopher Benjamin, and Commissioner Fortuna Smuckler.
January 1st is two celebrations when it comes to Haitian. First of all, it's a new year. This is the way we celebrate a year is leaving, another one is coming, is to wish everyone Happy New Year. But at the same time, as Haitian, we let the people know this is also our Independence Day. And the best way to celebrate Independence Day as Haitian is to eat or drink the Soup Joumou. That's why, by eating the Soup Joumou, it's not only for you and your family, but it's for you to share with others. It's for you to taste other people's Soup Joumou. It's like a reunion, a family reunion.
We have our brothers and sisters, and we appreciate them to celebrate our culture with us, because it's a big piece of our history, especially with where we are right now in America, with a lot of racial undertone. So we do feel special and honored when we do have other culture embrace and celebrate our diversity and celebrate our Independence Day with us as Haitian Americans.
Haitians and non-Haitians, everyone I know is sipping on Soup Joumou. It's become a sense of community, a norm. Everyone knows about Soup Joumou.
That we're going to continue to fight for justice. We're going to continue to fight for equity. And we're going to continue to celebrate each other in meaningful ways and really ask ourselves, what can we do to bring ourselves together around a table and around Soup Joumou?
Considering Haiti is the first Black nation, first country to abolish slavery. So those things are very significant. And as a Black American, I can appreciate that history. And so I think it's a great thing to be able to celebrate the Haitian New Year with my constituents.
What's important about keeping traditions and culture, something to pass out to our children and grandchildren.
It's a sense of identity. It's a sense of belonging to a particular group of people, and that belonging is important because we all search for where we belong, especially as Black Americans. You can see that in our attempts to find out more about our African heritage. We're always in search of where we came from, and for an American Black, it's very important because that identity was taken from us. So it's great that Haitians and other folks from the Caribbean have a distinct tradition that they can lean on and that they can celebrate.
Freed, Florida's Commissioner of Agriculture and Consumer Services. Welcome to the second annual Soup Joumou celebration, recognizing Haitian Independence Day. Well over 200 years ago, Haiti became the first Western world's first Black independent nation. With COVID-19 and all the challenges that our nation, our state, and our communities have faced this year, it is a great time to come together, even if it's virtually, to celebrate progress and independence. So, as you enjoy your bowl of hot Soup Joumou, let me say thank you to Councilwoman Mary Estimé-Irvin. Thanks to the City of North Miami, and thanks to all of you in the Haitian American community for helping us keep Florida growing.
Bonjour. This is Congresswoman Frederica Wilson. I'm deeply honored to represent the Haitian community in North Miami and throughout Florida's 24th Congressional District, and proudly join you in commemorating Haitian Independence Day. As you enjoy Soup Joumou and celebrate Haiti's 217th Independence Day, I'm reminded of Haitians' courage and sense of self-determination, which gives me hope for the country's future. I also am reminded of Haitians' numerous contributions to every facet of life in our community. In North Miami and throughout my district, Haitians serve as elected officials, business owners, soldiers, educators, lawyers, nurses, doctors, engineers, law enforcement, teachers, and in many other productive roles. I want to commend Councilwoman Mary Estimé-Irvin for her leadership and for bringing us together for her second annual Soup Joumou celebration. Congratulations, Councilwoman. As your Congresswoman, you can rest assured that I will continue fighting for the Haitian community in the 117th Congress. Again, happy Independence Day, au revoir. Happy Independence Day.
I want to congratulate you on this important day for Haitians all over the world, Haitian Independence Day, making Haiti the first Black republic in the Western Hemisphere in 1804. What better way is there to begin a new year than with a celebration of freedom, brotherhood, equality, and by honoring the bravery of those who fought to attain it? I think that the tradition of making Soup Joumou is a beautiful symbol of freedom and unity, a delicacy once reserved only for slave owners and forbidden for the slaves who prepared it. It has become a palpable way to remember your past, the struggle for freedom, and pass these lessons on to future generations. Soup Joumou is made, eaten, and shared as a symbol of strength, triumph, communion, and community. Every savory spoonful nourishes the body and the soul of the Haitian people. Bonne année, and God bless.
Well, next up is the talented recording artist Linda Estimé, professionally known as Portia, who earlier performed the Haitian national anthem and will now perform All Ye Faithful.
Oh, come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born a King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So sing, choirs of angels, sing in exaltation, sing all ye citizens of heaven above. Glory to God and glory in the highest. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord of mercy, God of righteousness. He is the light of the world. For he alone is worthy. For he alone is worthy. For he alone is worthy. Christ the Lord.
Happy New Year 2021. Bonne année tout le monde pour année 2021. Je souhaite nous bonne santé et une heureuse année pour 2020. And I hope that you count your blessings, because if you're here, that means you're blessed and it's a miracle. My name is Guylene Berry from Cause Femme and Pase Media. So today is a wonderful day. And you know, some of us, we're gonna share our Haitian American experience with you. But what is Haitian American experience without talking about Soup Joumou on January 1st? 1er janvier, Soup Joumou, Liberté. You know, so today, I hope that you can enjoy not just our story, but you can also enjoy what it means to be Haitian and eat this beautiful, wonderful, delicious Soup Joumou. You can make it however you want. And some of the community leaders and stakeholders will share with you their experience as Haitian American. Let me introduce to you Commissioner Mackenzie Florimont, Councilwoman Linda Julian, Commissioner Nancy Métayer, elected City Clerk Vanessa Joseph, Commissioner Danielle Agent, Senior Advisor to President-elected Joe Biden, Karine Andre, Naomi Blemure, co-founder of Balancing Life.
Well, the soup making for our Soup Joumou, or as some people call it, Soup Joumou, actually starts the day before. We buy groceries so that we can prepare.
So the night before, obviously the day before the soup is served, it's an all-day event.
It feels like it's an all-day event. You know, the preparation, everybody's getting together, the cooking. and it takes a long time.
That means on December 31st, we have all our ingredients already purchased, already ready, already cut up.
I have 3 daughters. I teach them how to make Soup Joumou, so they always look forward to January 1st.
Traditionnellement, les maman là, malheureusement, li pas là, nous toujours à l'église dans 31 décembre, puisque c'est une tradition là qu'on a en Haïti, en 31 décembre, en New Year's Eve, nous allons à l'église, nous prier, nous remercier bon Dieu pour l'année que nous passons en bien.
Making calls, finding out who's coming over.
Where the whole house is smelling like Soup Joumou.
We declutter, right? We make sure that everything is new. At times, my mother would even paint the house just to make sure that we have that brand new start, ready to come into a new year.
We look forward to the taste. And so you'll usually find our, mothers and aunts in the kitchen with huge pots that we called chaudière.
And then she gets like her bombs and her chaudières all ready. My mom will cook for like the whole block.
And these huge pots will be filled with vegetables and different meats and macaroni. And
we start the prep in the evening before January 1st, December 31st, and by midnight, as soon as the clock strikes midnight, we have our first bowl of Soup Joumou. Sometimes some of us may be traveling, we may be in Haiti at the time, and so while we may be with a different part of the family, the tradition always continues.
What we do that is very special is to go to Mass together, all right? That's extremely important. And we eat the soup together. And then we spend the day together, welcoming friends.
When I think about my household, which is a Haitian household, it takes on a whole new meaning because it not only means that you have a fresh start, but it also reminds us of some of the struggles that our forefathers went through.
Soup Joumou représente indépendance Haïti de colon blanc yo. Soup Joumou représente 1er janvier, New Year's for Haitians like myself. Pour moi-même, personnellement, pas qu'un 1er janvier sans Soup Joumou, pas qu'un indépendance d'Haïti sans Soup Joumou. M'pas besoin d'entrer dans plus de détails, seul ça m'a dit Soup Joumou lié tonton.
My mother is the most patriotic Haitian to ever have been born. Those of you who know, Farah Juste is my mom. So we have a very extra Haitian household. So, lorsque maman to Farah Juste, c'est pas 1er janvier seulement ou boire Soup Joumou. Chaque dimanche, 52 dimanches l'année, chaque semaine, chaque dimanche nous boire Soup Joumou, qui fait que le 1er janvier fini nous bouquer avec Soup Joumou, mais à cause de tradition, nous obligés faire l'honneur pour nous boire une belle Soup Joumou ensemble, qui fait que pour nous-mêmes Soup Joumou c'est une fierté 365 jours de l'année. So for us, Soup Joumou and our Liberty Soup is a 365 day a year tradition. Well, I'll say 52 day a year because every Sunday we have independence in our house. We overthrow the French.
And sometimes I drink the soup at home and sometimes I go to my sister's house. It's like a family day.
My siblings are there, my cousins, my aunts and uncles and the neighbors, co-workers. I mean, everybody comes through for a bowl of Soup Joumou.
I guess this year what we will do different is we will be Zooming friends all day after we come back from the Mass.
Well, I must say, now that the matriarchs of our family are both deceased, I'm kind of treading that new path for myself, identifying what it is that I want to teach my son about 1er janvier, what is it that I want to communicate to him about our history, and for me, identifying those things that he absolutely need to know, because as we know, he will not be learning it from the school system. So I want to take it upon myself to be the one to teach that. So for now, I am the one establishing what the traditions will be.
And now let's get ready to hear a performance from Saunders of Harmonique.
Yon dernier graines viennent sauver. C'est comme si Jeanty me ressuscitait, ouais. Ou pas mieux attention distinguée. Pour me permettre maintenant d'y faire. Tant qu'on yon ça, qui était en seul cartouche. Moi était quoi, dernier coup assez où c'est dernière chance, moi. Dernière chance, moi. Oh, dernière chance, moi. Dernière chance, moi. Les hommes te pensé m'te fin tomber. Ou élever mettez sous tes pieds. Tant qu'on oso, déplier même pas cassé. Ouais, était ouais, dernier coup assez où c'est dernière chance moi. Dernière chance moi.
Again, my name is Marckenson, and it is a pleasure for me to cause the second annual Soup Joumou celebration. Je dis c'est avec un pile plaisir que moi là pour que me capable célébrer deuxième année célébration Soup Joumou. Eh bien, en pile moun a posé cette question. Pour qui ça nous-mêmes haïtiens nous boire Soup Joumou chaque 1er janvier. And for our friends, people that loves Haitian culture and tradition, they wonder why us Haitian that we drink Soup Joumou every January 1st. Let me tell you why. This tradition started since 1804 when we gained our independence from France. Our ancestors, they were farmers. They prepared the meal. The meal goes in the kitchen. But unfortunately, they were not allowed to drink the soup. And Soup Joumou was one of the French best dishes. We couldn't taste it, we couldn't eat it, and we were not allowed at the table. But when we gain our independence, we have decided that this is the soup that we're gonna drink. So therefore, every year since then, Haitian and Haitian descent, people that love Haitian culture, they eat, they drink the Soup Joumou every January 1st. Eh bien, tradition ça, son tradition que les ancêtres nous ont quitté pour nous. Non seulement elle est marquée que nous-mêmes, Haïtiens, nous libres, nous capables de décider de futur, non. nous capables de décider de bien-être nous. Eh bien, nous, c'est un message que nous t'ai lancé avec Français, avec colonisateurs pour que nous dit, eh bien, nous, grand monde, nous capables de prendre destinée nous en main. These traditions mark Haitian freedom, the right to decide for ourselves what to eat, what to drink, and how to behave as grown people. We are Haitian, the first Black independent republic in the entire hemisphere. When people say that Black people couldn't govern themselves, we have proven them wrong. Dans ce sens ça, je dis c'est un grand jour. Non seulement c'est un jour de célébration, fête indépendance nous, mais c'est un jour qui marque que nous sommes capables de décider pour propre tête pas nous. Et gens que nous pral gagner tout à l'heure à travers un pile elected official, un pile monde qui community leaders such as journaliste Patrick Eliansi, artiste et producteur Richie de classe, our very own state representative deputy Pepla, state representative Dottie Joseph, and Commissioner Paul Villar from the great city of North Miami Beach.
The Haitian New Year's Day tradition of drinking Soup Joumou or pumpkin soup is said to date back to January 1804, the day Haitian slave and revolutionary leader Jean-Jacques Dessalines declared Haiti's independence from its French colonizers. Haitian slaves were forbidden from drinking Soup Joumou because it was reserved mainly for French colonizers. In celebration of Haiti's liberation, the soup has become a symbol of freedom. When I'm having Soup Joumou, it reminds me of the legacy of my ancestors. It reminds me why we are free. It is a bonding experience for me and my family, and we cherish this time together. It is a reminder of the modern-day David and Goliath story, which shapes our existence as a diaspora. Happy New Year's to you all.
Today, I joined Councilwoman Mary Estimé-Irvin and the entire North Miami City Council as we not only celebrate the start of a new year, but also commemorate independence of the country of my birth, Haiti. On January 1st, 1804, Haiti declared her independence from French rule, making Haiti the first Black republic, the only country born of a successful slave revolt, and the first free nation in Latin America and the Caribbean. We commemorate this victory, celebrated by Haitians all across the globe, with a delicacy known as Soup Joumou, which was forbidden to slaves under French rule. As Haitians all around the world continue the tradition of eating Soup Joumou, let us honor what it represents: our triumph over seemingly insurmountable odds, a tangible fruit of rebellion against racism worldwide, and reaffirmance of freedom and equality of all.
Haitians all around the world celebrate the New Year with Soup Joumou because it is a symbolism of our freedom.
Well, when you think about it, when an historic moment happens in every culture, there's always something symbolic that we do in order to memorialize what has taken place.
For it to become a tradition means that it's part of who you are. You pass it out to your kids, you pass it out to the new generation growing up. It's like they gotta know, you know, and the rest is up to them because that's how it got to us. Haiti is still exists, is still on this, planet. That is not gonna change, The name Haiti, the country is still being called Haiti. Till then, you're gonna have, history is already written, first Black independent country, the first country where you were free once you step your foot there, from wherever, you could be from this world. You step foot in Haiti, you're automatically a free man, Black or whatever. So it's like, we are paying, not to say we paid, because we're still paying the consequences for that, and we don't mind.
We now had our freedom, and we chose the soup as a symbol of that freedom.
Nous libérer tout esclave l'on sens symbolique, les nous prend liberté pas nous. So it's so important for Haitians to continue to reflect on that tradition, to reflect on that lesson and on that message, and ask ourselves each year, how are we working to break ourselves from chains that exist today? Mental chains, economic chains, right? Societal chains. There's still levels of freedom that we still need to achieve for ourselves. And we should be asking ourselves every January 1st, am I contributing to the freedom of my people? Am I contributing to the upliftment of my people? Am I opening doors like Toussaint did? And am I creating a pathway for generations to come that I'll never know like Dessalines did? We should all be asking ourselves that every December 31st, every January 1st.
And a special thanks to all of our speakers today. And now to the talented Haitian-American jazz performing artist, Pauline Jean, singing Yon Sal Petit.
Pauline Jean from New York City, bringing you a wonderful composition by an incredible Haitian musician, composer, treasure named Raoul Guillaume. This is Complète Paysanne, also known as Yon Sal Petit. Yon Sal Petit, qui toute la vie belle coucher, belle poil mourir. Yon sel enfants qui tout parmi mais les malades, bon Dieu a sauvé. Où est moi sans famille? Où est moi sans amis? Si vous quittez l'allée qui monte capron soleil, où est moi sans famille? Où est moi sans amis? Qui monte d'un grand soleil, papa, bon Dieu, tendez, priez-moi, c'est ou pas moi, c'est ou qui pourra sauver. C'est où pas moi, c'est où qui pourra sauver, sauver, sauver.
Well, now that we have filled your spirit with that wonderful, glorious music and those excellent singers, now let's fill your belly with Soup Joumou. It is, after all, a big part of the independence tradition. You know, I've learned over the years that everyone makes their soup differently, and if you're like me, a part-time vegetarian, then you don't have meat in your soup. So let's find out how Chef Sandra Toussaint makes her soup. and she has a few extra guests.
We're going to start with the meat. And of course, the first thing we need to do is prepare our Haitian spices, which we call épices, which consist of different things. We have our scallions that we're going to blend all together. We have some cloves of garlic for flavoring. We have a little bit of green peppers, red pepper, shallots that I also like to put in there. Parsley. I prefer the Italian parsley because I think it's much more flavorful. And then we have our salt and other seasonings that we're going to add to it as well. We're going to blend all those together. Before we blend, we're going to actually wash our meat because it's very important for Haitian culture to wash the meat. We have 3 different types of beef. I have a top round beef, and we have the cow foot, and also we have the beef neck bones.
Oh, okay.
Because we're looking for the flavors from the bones. Yeah. So these 3, actually, the top round gives you more meaty. It's more meat to eat. And then the other ones, you will get all the flavor out of the bones. The cow foot add a wonderful flavor as well.
We're going to eat some foot in this soup.
Okay.
So when somebody said they put their foot in it, it was like literally
a cow foot. Yeah. And the steps that we take are we use a lime. We cut the lime.
So we're not just washing the meat, we're actually cleaning the meat.
Yes.
We're going to put the lime on it.
Correct. So we squeeze our lime on here. We use some salt and then vinegar.
Okay. This is the part that I totally
Add the lime there and wash every part of the hoofs, the cow foot. So after you make sure you get all the lime in there, and then we usually use some scalding water to pour over it as well to get that last cleaning part on there.
So salt, vinegar, lime, and then a lot of really hot water.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. We'll leave this marinating for now. So we start preparing our spices. We have the Italian parsley, and then you have 1 whole shallots.
So you're just going to throw them all in there?
And blend it all together.
Well, that's it.
We're going to add a little salt and some all seasonings to it.
So that's all seasoning? Okay.
It's a complete seasoning. And then we'll add a little bit of water. Excuse me.
Liquid.
Yeah. So we can get it blended. So now we would rinse out our meat with the scalding water on there. So I cleaned it out. Now I put it in the pressure cooker, and I'm gonna add the épice, which is the spice, the Haitian spice to it.
And how long does it have to stay in the pressure cooker?
Once the pressure starts, because it doesn't start, you got to start hearing the noise, the pressure going, 30 minutes. Next, what we're going to do while the meat is cooking, we're going to start working on boiling your pumpkin.
Do you peel your carrots?
Yes, I peel the carrots. The one item that I don't peel is the pumpkin.
Okay.
Let's talk about the pumpkin, though. There are different types of pumpkin to purchase. The better one, I would say, that's more flavorful and give you a thicker viscose, like your liquid to be real thick and a beautiful color, because you're looking for color. You can't have a gray Soup Joumou. You have to have a beautiful orange. It gives you a beautiful tint, like that orangey. And then it's thick, not liquidy, not very clear. So this is calabaza. Yeah.
Calabaza.
You will get this from different stores. This is a better pumpkin to make Soup Joumou. And then you have your celery. I would say you can use about 2 to 3 celery stalks. You can slice it in the middle and continue cutting.
So we're going.
Right.
You don't have to put the florets in there.
No florets.
Yeah, and then you're done with that.
Florets, you're done.
And then, the leeks, very important. You have your leeks here. I've used the half of it already earlier.
Yeah.
So this recipe actually comes from my mom's cookbook, and we've been cooking it together since the 70s.
So your mom has a cookbook?
Yes, she used to go to culinary classes in Cape Haiti. And so this is traditional. And then Don't forget this.
Is that rutabaga?
No.
Turnip?
Yes. He heard you. He heard you. You started.
I
You
know. Let me guess, because he's gonna say, I
Turnip actually adds a wonderful flavor to it as well.
So this is like turnip from the turnip greens.
Turnip.
Okay. It's not like a party. It's not like a turn up. It's a turnip. Turn up. We're
Turn
not
up.
turning up. It's a turn up, everybody. Turn up. It's not turn. It's turn up. Turn up.
Okay.
All right.
That, of course, you can slice and cut. You like your vegetables too. Don't forget our wonderful cabbage. Now, what's important about the cabbage is these leaves. You want to make sure you get a cabbage that's very leafy, like with the big patch. Remove this part right here. It's very tough. Yeah. Okay. Once you remove all that, you just cut it in smaller, like this. Very small, thin pieces, and you put in your soup.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is now focus on the pumpkin, our number one ingredient, especially for the vegetarian eaters. The only thing really you need to do is make sure you wash the outer layer, make sure it's clean, and then take out the seeds. Okay? To make it easier, if you try to cut a pumpkin, you will see how hard it is to get through, right? So it's easier to just take out the seeds and then cut it into 3-4 pieces and then boil it. It takes about 10-15 minutes to cook. It's very fast to cook. It doesn't take long with the skin. Okay, so we're gonna pour it in here. Right now, we're gonna add all our vegetables.
So this stuff right here.
All at the same time? Or
All at the same time.
All right. So
Because
So this has to come to boil. Once this boils,
then
we add
you
the
can lift it
vegetables.
up. Excuse me.
You got it?
Go ahead. You wanna?
All right. So.
We'll do it slowly. Okay. There you go.
It's the same splash, just slower.
Okay, now I'm gonna add the bouquet garni, the different things because you don't want them to come apart, the herbs. So I tied them up with the special cooking thread. So you have your thyme, you have your cilantro, and then you have your Scotch bonnet. You want to keep them whole. You don't want to break them apart.
Do you poke them?
No. I see that they poke them with the cloves, but no,
I just poke them.
Okay, and then you let that cook. It continues to cook. Because once the soup is done, you want to be able to pull it whole right out, or else it's going to scatter all over, and you don't want people to be like picking it out of the soup. So that's that. And then you prepare your new potatoes. These potatoes, they're very tiny. They're little finger potatoes. They're just very cute. So what I usually do, I put them in the hot water for about 5 minutes. Scalding, you let the water come to a boil, let it sit in there and turn off the stove. And then once you can just take the skin off, right?
Like this.
Like this. So once the potatoes are done, you add that to it as well, almost when the soup is over, because you don't want to overcook the potatoes.
Okay.
And then you start adding of course, your seasoning. Since we didn't have a base, the beef, no chicken, no meat. So, you add your garlic. I love garlic. You have some complete seasoning, excuse me. And you just put a little salt, because I'll just put 2 pinch because there wasn't any meat or any other flavoring into it. You let it come to a boil. Now, another secret to the soup as well is the pasta. That's another thing I pre-cook. I pre-boil it. The reason why I pre-boil it, pasta has the tendency to soak up all your soup or your liquid. So by pre-cooking it a little, it already cooks, so it doesn't really do that process of grabbing all your liquid.
Okay.
So I usually cook the pasta, but the two pastas to use, we use is the vermicelli, this type, and then this type, which is kind of like the rigatoni style. It's the bigger version, not the penne pasta, the rigatoni style. And then you pre-cook them a little, nothing like, not long, however, tender enough so that when it gets into the soup, it's not gonna soak up all your liquid.
Got it.
At the end, you can add all that, bring everything to a boil, then you taste. Once you taste it, then you determine what else could be missing. For the vegetarian, I would say you add a little bit of vinegar, you add a little bit of, other things to bring that flavor, liven it up. After we've added all the ingredients, this is the final result. We have our Soup Joumou. If you look at it, it's very thick. It has gotten a little thicker. You have all the potatoes and the
pasta.
Mm-hmm.
It looks amazing. Bon année and happy Haitian Independence Day. We're not just bringing in a new year. This is the day that we commemorate Haiti getting its independence. And Soup Joumou is such a big part of that. So as we move forward, as we celebrate the things that we couldn't have in the past, and we memorialize that by having the wonderful soup that's made that Councilwoman Mary Estimé-Irvin and Chef Sandra Toussaint has made with me, because I did my part. It's important that we also actually understand that we can do things next year that we couldn't do last year. There are things that be available to us as a community, whether it be making sure everyone has food to eat, whether making sure this community has good transit, making sure we come together to get through this pandemic together. Happy New Year and happy Haitian Independence Day.
Soleil n'a qu'à coucher, la nuit n'a qu'à lever, cocotier qu'à bouger. Caressez-moi, la nuit n'a qu'à tomber, petit oiseau qu'à poser. C'est pas l'eau d'y me chanter. Caressez-moi, la mer a caché mi. La nuit n'a qu'à frémir, cocotier qu'à parler. Caressez-moi, petit maman qu'à pleurer. Non, non, fatigué, ouais, sans yo tout qu'à couler. Caressez-moi. Soleil n'a qu'à coucher, la nuit n'a qu'à lever, cocotier qu'à bouger. Caressez-moi, la nuit n'a qu'à tomber, petit oiseau qu'à poser. C'est pas l'eau d'y me chanter. Caressez-moi, la mer a caché mi. La nuit n'a qu'à frémir, cocotier qu'à parler. Caressez-moi, dis maman qu'à pleurer. Non, non, fatigué, ouais, sans yo tout qu'à couler.
wish you a happy new year, bonne année, and feliz año nuevo. And 2020, bye-bye.
Merci à nous tous qui t'ap gardé. Merci à nous tous qui t'y prêtons attention spéciale dans la célébration ça. Merci à ensemble de invités yo, qui t'y presque tout ça ou t'ap fait pour te venir joindre nous, la caille nous, quel que soit à côté que nous y à travers le monde. Whomever you are, regardless of colors, religion, background, wherever you come from, white, black, blue, green, if any exists, remember that Haitian independence is about freedom. It's about freedom for all. It's about freedom for each and every one of us.
Well, that will do it for our virtual Soup Joumou celebration. We hope to see everyone next year. And thanks to my co-hosts for today, Guylene Berry and Marckenson Jeanty. I'm Calvin Hughes. So here's to a Happy New Year and Happy Haitian Independence Day.
Bonjour, c'est Michael Joseph, vice-maire pour North Miami Beach. Je dis tout le monde, joyeux Noël et bonne fête indépendance.
Du sol, soyons seuls maîtres, marchons unis pour le pays et pour les ancêtres. Marchons, marchons, marchons.